name is Thomas Eller. I'm here in this fabulous show. When Suzanne asked me to participate, it was evident to me that I would fit into the show. And I said yes, I'm very happy about it. In which ways do I fit into the show? Stalking the cerebral self is not so sure about the cerebral, that is a big part of it, but the self, we talked about this earlier, is sort of a kind of fickle subject. We tend to think of ourselves as an entity when in fact we're really so permeable as human beings that the notion of the self has been highly contentious for me. And that was pretty much the beginning of my work when I realized that this is a problem, but I also had no idea on which else to base my work. I determined that the only place that I have to depart from is really the place where I am. So you would see a lot of seeming self-portraits in my early work, but they were really sort of a departing point. And if you look at this word identity that we use for that, what is it comprised of? It's two things, it's it and entity. So there's a seeming entity, I just talked about that, that's a problematic term in itself. The id is a Latin word that's almost similar to the direct article in the English language, the, which is always sort of an index, it's a pointing kind of movement. This over there, that's what I'm interacting with, gives me identity. So identity is also not something you have, but something that you constitute while you're doing it. And that's kind of the basis of my work somehow. And, images as indicators, as some things that relate to you or I've always seen that as an interactive, agents, if you will. And so I've departed from the self-portraits location to mediation through images also. And what you see here are sketches, or in this case of the aluminum piece, that's an edition of a much larger piece that's been exhibited last summer for one season in the landscape in Germany next to the largest river that we have there. And I had plants grow through the entire body. So again, it's that permeability that the body really has, even though we don't experience that, because in order to function we have to have that notion of self in order to interact, because if we couldn't be social if we couldn't also identify ourselves. So it's sort of a construct that's necessary for social life, when in fact it's much more